Good evening. Uh, how are you? How's your day? Wow, I had a very long day today. I went to a park. In my town, there's this popular park with a lake, and a lot of family come. Children swim in the lake with summer. They say water is warm, so yeah, it's a nice lake. Some people fish, and yeah, I did my campaign there. So what did I hand out this time? Yeah, 10 bottles of. I bought 10 bottles of water from the fridge refrigerator in a supermarket. Okay, so 10 bottles of water and 20 bags of small chips. Okay, two tote bags, right? So I handed them out and then handed out my campaign cards too. Okay. Wow, it was long. All right. Some of them want to talk to me, right? So I listen to them, and some of them want me to talk, so I did talk to them. So yeah, very educationally beneficial event. Um, yeah. So then I came home and I ate my dinner. That was good, Chinese food. And so I watched this YouTube video where in the U.S. Army, the for the medics, right? Yeah, I have many friends who went to medic, like combat medic, kind of the specialty, military occupation specialty, MOS, right? Yeah, so in medic, that profession in the U.S. Army, they have this competition to get this badge, right? And then there's this medic captain, veterinary medicine captain, who so it's like very hardcore U.S. Army standard 12-mile rock march, 12 miles with you have to finish it in 3 hours and with a 45-pound rucksack. Have I done it before? Yes, when I was in training for special forces, right? Did I pass? Yes. We called it like rock run because you have to run, otherwise you're not going to finish in 3 hours. Okay, 12 miles. So yeah, I did pass that. Yeah. The part I didn't pass was where I gave up the individual night land navigation because I was too hungry. Okay, so and yes, I was lost. It was raining. It was cold. I was lonely. So I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna do this. Yeah. So I dropped out of special forces training. Selection course. 3 weeks in hell. Selection course. But 12-mile rock march. Yeah, I did pass. I did. Okay. With comfortable margin. We are like running the whole time, right? Not the whole time, but most time we ran. Uh, my rucksack, I think it was the special forces selection course. I think it was like 50 pounds. Okay, yeah, I got slightly more than 50 pounds. That's what I remember. And yeah, but I did pass. Okay, so this U.S. Army medic captain, she's female, so and so she she fell just shy of about 20 feet from the finishing line, right? And other people were cheering her up, so she got up and she fell again. Then she got up and then she finished the line and she crossed the line and then she fell again, collapsed out of exhaustion. Okay, I almost cried. It was just such a beautiful struggle, right? Never give up, right? It was beautiful. Yeah, very beautiful. Other soldiers, they were just running, okay, passing her by, right? But and those kind of drill sergeants, right, in that competition, they were saying, "Don't touch her, don't touch her. Let her do it by herself." And yeah, don't help her up. Just encourage you verbally, right? Yeah, it was beautifully done. And she was Caucasian. She's Caucasian, female. And all the other soldiers who cheer her up, yeah, you have Hispanics, Asians, African Americans, Caucasians, all of them, right? Yeah, in the army, U.S. Army, there's no racism. And to be honest, I don't think there's such a thing as racism in America. All right, that's my personal opinion. But um, so nowadays, anti-racism activists they talk about white privilege, right? So is there such a thing? Well, I wouldn't put it that way, but what it is inheritance. That's all it is, inheritance. Because European immigrants, they have advanced knowledge, science, education. Okay, that's European immigrants. Okay, yeah, they have this tradition of science and education and finance, medicine, all those Western technology, right? But that's not the culture of Africa, at least not back then. Okay, when African American came here, of course they came here as bonded servants, right? But bonded bonded servitude that used to be universal everywhere in the world, in Asia, Europe, right? Yeah. So so yeah, it's inheritance. That's all it is. Inheritance of wealth. Yeah, there's some labor exploitation back then, but it wasn't only against blacks. It was also against Asians and whites. Labor exploitation. It was ubiquitous back in the days. It has nothing to do with race. Okay, so these activists, anti-racist activists, they're not very educated people. Okay, they're not conversant in history like some of us are. So then, are we privileged because we are more educated? Yeah, kinda. Why? Because I happen to be born in a household where is education is heavily emphasized. South Korea, so South Korea. Okay, my parents heavily emphasized education, and they also invest in my education. Yeah, like private tutoring or private school. Private school after public school, that the class can be like hundreds, or it could be smaller class like 10 students, or it could be one-on-one tutoring. I've done all that, all three kinds. Big class, small class, medium class, one-on-one. I've done all that. Okay, why? Because I'm slow. I'm not fast learner. Okay, so my parents invested their money on my after public school, private school, which is a weekday nights and weekends. Did I study hard? Yes. So it's not like I inherited free money from my parents. No, they invested in my education, and I did my homework, studied hard, and went to office hours with my teachers, professors, because I wanted to learn, and I wasn't very good at it. I'm not smart. I'm slow. Every now and then you see the Indian prodigy, Korean prodigy, okay, born in very poor family, who cannot afford any private education, but they're just born smart, I guess, geniuses. I'm not one of them. No, I was slow. That's why my parents had to invest their money for my private education after public school, and I also studied very hard. But my mathematics still not that good. But I learned something, right? Yeah, if my parents did not invest private education money on me, probably my knowledge wouldn't that very good. Why? Because I'm just not a smart student. I'm a slow student, right? So, but I studied very hard though. I was, and I still do. I'm diligent, but I'm not smart. I wasn't born smart at all. It took a lot of my parents' money and a lot of my effort to learn, to have learned what I know. All right. So is it a privilege? Yeah, kinda, because my parents were upper middle class. Well, not exactly upper middle class, but slightly upper middle class. All right. Yeah, they have some disposable income because they both worked. They worked very hard. My parents. Okay. And I studied very hard. So it's kind of privilege, but not exactly. It's half and half. All right. So yeah, the wealth disparity between whites and blacks. Yeah, it's an issue. So African American community. Yeah, uh, I think what comes good, what good. There's something good comes coming out of this Black Lives Matter movement because businesses they started to invest in African American communities and starting to hire more African Americans, and that's fantastic, right? Yeah, show them some love, Uh, that's great, yes. But my emphasis would be on education, just like President Barack Obama once said. Okay, that's the best investment. All right. Okay, let's take 5 minutes and then we'll talk about other things. Yeah. Okay. So this Black Lives Matter, I think it's a valid cause. Um, Although I disagree with the methodology they use, like tearing down the statues, that's vandalism. Okay, that's illegal. It's a crime. Okay, so looting, yeah, crime, arson, crime. But some people say otherwise it wouldn't have worked. That could be true, right? But still, I have to disagree with. We cannot condone crimes. If on activism's methodology is a crime, I cannot quite agree with that. I'm sorry. Okay. But their cause, yeah, Black Lives Matter basically is advocacy for African Americans because there are a lot of poverty stricken area all around the country, big cities. President Trump called it inner cities. What did he do? He it was one of his campaign promise, right? But he didn't quite do anything. What is he doing now still? Going after Huawei, well, arm wrestling with China. That's his focus, which is bad for America because it's hurting American jobs, American agriculture, right? So he is not doing well. Okay, so President Trump, his poll is not he's not doing well in the polls because Americans are smart. Okay, they are not dumb at all. They can see how badly President Trump is performing. He's not solving any problem. One thing he's good doing right is the border wall, southern border wall. That's necessary. Okay, because we cannot allow illegal immigration like that. Okay, that is something he is doing very well. But otherwise, he appointed Justice Gorsuch, right? He is like anti-abortion, which I disagree with, and he's pro-LGBT ism, which I disagree with. Okay, so in those two counts, there's Justice Gorsuch, and I'm very disappointed at him. All right. So President Trump was so proud of appointing Justice Gorsuch. He's a handsome guy. He went to Harvard Law School and whatnot, right? But not very smart man. Okay. I know many people who went to Harvard who used to work. And also some people who used to work for Goldman Sachs. Okay, and many of them are very smart and very good people. Okay, but Justice Gorsuch, not one of them. I don't think he's smart. Okay. So that's the common pitfall that President Trump is again and again committing. He just hire elitists, okay, who went to top school, clean slate, people who follow along the party line, and well, that's elitist swamp. He's recreating it, right? He's not quite changing anything. Okay, he himself became Washington elite. I don't like his attitude nowadays. He's so arrogant, like dismissive, and he changed quite a bit since he became president, right? Before that, he was more like down to earth kind of guy. But nowadays, the attitude that I can sense from the tone of his voice, very arrogant and very elitist and very complacent. All right. But unfortunately, I'm not there. So yeah, I'm running for president, but I'm not visible on a national scale. So, oh well, but I'm still trying. What can I say? All right. So there were many children in the park with their parents. So I handed out water, chips to children too. So did I hand it out my campaign card to children as well? I did. Why? Because my campaign card is very colorful and very pretty. So they were curious about it. So if I give them my campaign cards, maybe they will give them to their parents so that they can vote for me. Of course, there's this risk, right? They may look up my name, young people, in the internet, and they may find this humanology series. Oops. Because nowadays it's not, we don't do anything like this age of inappropriate. We don't do anything PG-13. Okay. But back in the days, yeah, I used to talk about things that kind of PG-13. That's why I had to get it up 200 episodes worth, 600 hours worth, right? The Google YouTube warned me about that, so I listened. So I decided not to upload 200 episodes because there are huge backlog, about 200 episodes worth. Okay, so I decided not to upload it. Yeah, so you have to take risk, right? I mean, I'm running for Alaska State Senate, and the opinions I express here isn't always popular one. So maybe some parents might get upset if their children watch this. Okay, but that's the kind of risk that I have to accept. Why? That's the price that I need to pay. Risk taking. Okay, so I'm more than willing to pay that price. Okay. Because if I don't get elected, to be honest with you, it will make my job easier. I mean, it will make my life easier. Why? So the primary Republican primary is in August. Okay? General election is in November. So in August, if I don't get elected in the Republican primary, yeah, Republican Party primary, their policy is such that Republicans can vote for primary, Republican primary, or independent, unaffiliated, non-partisan, undeclared. They can also vote. All right, in the Republican primary. Democratic Party primary in Alaska, anybody can vote. Okay, they are more open-minded, right? So, which is cool. So if I don't get elected in this August primary, in all honesty, it will be a relief. Why? Because my campaign will be over by then. Okay, I don't have to continue to campaign for general election in November. So, then what will I do? I'll get back to mathematics, humanology, which I greatly enjoy. All right. So I have no problem losing. To be honest with you, yeah, I do my best to win. But if I lose, it will make my life a lot easier. So I have no problem losing. Okay? And other candidates, I know them. They're cool. Okay? I have no problem them being elected. Yeah, they're cool. Yeah. So the solution for this wealth disparity between blacks and whites is just education. That's all it is. Okay. Um, Especially nowadays, education is free. You, you can learn anything from your cell phone, internet. All right. Go to YouTube, Wikipedia. You can learn anything. All right. Knowledge is free. So yeah. So education doesn't really take that much money nowadays. Okay. It's about motivation. Okay. So yeah, that's my solution. Okay. So, yeah, you get educated, get a higher paying job. Okay. There is no other way. Uh, in order to make money, more money, you need to get educated, have more job skills. Not you particularly, everybody. Okay, so there is no other solution. That is the solution. Okay, so it's that simple. So yeah, I want to be a leader who inspire people to study. Okay, because that's the point. This Black Lives Matter movement. Okay, I have some agreements and disagreements. Okay, the part I disagree with is that they put too much emphasis on money, funding. Okay, to me, money is never a solution. Okay, what's the solution then? Yeah, knowledge, education. Okay, so if I'm the president, I'll be the leader who will inspire African Americans to study. All right, not just books. Yeah, music, instruments, foreign language, athletics, whatever, dancing, whatever. Okay, it's about education because there's no other way. All right, money, free handouts, it will run out. You give the fish, the child will eat it and demand some more. You have to teach a child how to fish. What it's Jewish Talmud wisdom, right? Yeah, it's that simple. Yeah, because there's no other way. Right? And nowadays education is free. Okay, yeah, you can learn anything you want as long as you pay your cell phone bills. Right? When I started for LSAT to go to law school, I had a full time job, 40 hours a week, Monday to Friday. So during weekday nights and weekends, I would study for LSAT, law school admission test. All right, and I did that for many, many, many years. I was a computer programmer. I studied LSAT. After that, I joined the U.S. Army. I studied LSAT. We deployed to Afghanistan. I studied LSAT during my spare time. All right. So after we came back from Afghanistan to Fort Hood, Texas, yeah, I took exam, and my exam score was top 3% in the nation. Okay, 171 out of 180. Okay, so yeah, I got scholarship offers and stuff because I studied very hard for a very long time. Right. So after I took the LSAT exam, I have 1 year left before I get out of U.S. Army. Right. So that's the 1 year. So my army career. We'll take 5 minutes break, and I will tell you more about my army days. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, uh, before I forget, okay, so, uh, there's this American jurist. He went, I think he's graduate of Harvard Law School. Very smart guy. He kind of died young. Okay, it's sad, but he published this couple of articles in the law school journal articles in the Yale Law Journal, Yale Law Review, right? She was very prestigious one. He talked about this right duty duality. Okay, one person's right is another person's duty, right? So if I have right to this apple, then other people have now duty to respect my right. Okay, so uh, it's copium transfer. Okay, so freedom, right, it's the same thing. Uh, is somebody else's duty. So if I have freedom, I'm taking away somebody else's freedom. So freedom is copium. It's limited resources. Okay. Uh, so just want to mention that. Okay. Yeah. So all this right, like LGBT right movement, yeah, actually they're taking away from somebody else's freedom, somebody else's right. Okay, right to disagree. Okay, all right. So, anyways, back to U.S. Army story. Uh, I'm privileged to have grown up in disciplinary environment. I wouldn't say privileged, okay, because I'm not guilty of being born in that family or Seoul, South Korea in 19. I mean, grew up in 1980s, 1990s, Seoul, South Korea. I wouldn't call that privilege. I would rather call that blessing. Okay, it's not my fault that I was born in nice family. I didn't do anything wrong. I mean, I didn't choose my parents. I didn't steal my parents from somebody else. I just happened to be born in good parents. So it's not my fault. So, but when you start calling like white privilege, whatever privilege, Asian privilege, then you are kind of uh, make it sound like this person did something wrong. But this person happened to be born as white, Caucasian or Asian, and happened to have some inheritance money, and it's not this person's fault. But they make it sound like they did something wrong. Okay, privilege. Mm, that's too judgmental, right? So yeah, I don't like that kind of characterization. I have to disagree with that. Now then, African Americans who are born in uh, poverty-stricken inner city ghetto area, crime-ridden neighborhood. It's not their fault either that the person was born in that neighborhood. But they didn't choose to be born in that neighborhood, right? So people talk about police brutality, but how about criminal brutality? Criminals, they can be very brutal. I saw this video in the news. There's this guy, looks like late teen or early 20s, for no reason pushed away a 95-year-old lady. So she fell and she hit her head on a fire hydrant metal, and he just walked away. Brutality, criminal brutality. Another incident in the news. Three guys murdering one lady with knife to death. Alright? Criminal brutality. That's what police officers deal with on a daily basis. So, eye to eye, tooth to tooth. Okay, so people do not have right to criticize police brutality. Why? Because they deal with brutal criminals. They're trying to keep us safe. Alright, so nobody has right to criticize police brutality. Okay? They're human beings too, so they make mistakes. Alright? But police officers, they deal with brutal criminals who kill some other people for no reason, right? And police officers, they are on our side. They're trying to protect us. Okay, so now, then how about these brutal criminals? Is it their fault they became brutal? No, I don't judge them. I don't find fault with them. Why? That's the environment that they grew up in. Kind of criminalistic neighborhoods. Neighborhood infected by the unsound ideology of criminalism. Alright? So that's how humanology see things. Right? Then who created all those evil ideologies? God. Why? Well, one hypothesis is that he wants us to solve those problems. Okay, so it's like homework assignment, so to speak, right? Yeah, I have all the solutions, at least in theory, and I've been sharing that with you. Yeah, what's the solution? Education. That's all it is, right? And but to make that happen, I have to be a politician, and that's why I'm running for president, running for Alaska State Senate, and I will keep on running. I will never stop. All right. I have to have political power to solve those problems, implement those solutions. All right. Yeah. Okay. Back to the army story. I think we should take a break. Okay. Let's take a break. Oh. I grab a beer. So, army days. I was 1 year in Georgia tra- for basic combat training and advanced individual training. AIT, that's like MOS, my specialization, electrician for helicopters. Okay, I was about 1 year in Georgia there. After that, I was stationed in Fort Hood, Texas, for a year. The third year, Afghanistan. Fourth year, Fort Hood, Texas. And then I got out. I did my four. Okay, so and then so soon after I got back from Afghanistan, so we got back from Afghanistan to Fort Hood, Texas, as a unit, right? 1 year after 1 year deployment, it was not easy. Not for me. Why? I had constipation. Okay, I had hemorrhoid, pain, literally pain in the car. So when I was walking, when I was sitting, it hurts. So for the last out of 1 year, last 3 months, I think it was hell. All right, day in day out. Okay, my goodness, it was very painful. Okay, so that's how I earned my GI Bill. Okay, I have no debt, no student debt. Okay, my law school tuition is all paid off by GI Bill. All right, and I earned it. Okay, it was not easy, but hemorrhoid. I don't have any hemorrhoid constipation problem. Yeah, once we got back from Fort Hood, Texas. Yeah, I ate a lot of vegetables, water, a lot of fruits, so no problem. Okay, yeah. It got all healed up. Okay, so I don't have such medical problem anymore. So once I got back to Fort Hood, Texas, my fourth year, yeah, I took the LSAT exam and my score was good. I was satisfied. So then I started to study for patent bar exam to become a patent agent. Now I'm a on paper patent attorney. Why? Because I'm licensed to practice it. So I studied for it about 6 months, about a year, and after a year, I passed it. Yeah, intellectual property, patent law. Okay. The day I took the exam was the day right after I got the day I got out of U.S. Army. Next day I took the exam and passed. Okay. I studied for about a year. Right. Yeah, there's patent by exam courses, which are like thousands of dollars. I didn't have that money, so I studied on my own. I bought the books, which isn't too expensive. It's $100 or something like that. Very thick, yeah, patent law, right? And a lot of online materials. And so I studied and I passed. On the way from, yeah, it was, I think it was by from Fort Hood, Texas is like Clean, Texas, and there's Waco, Texas. So it's about 3 hours north of Clean, Texas, right? So that's where I took this online exam in this proctor, this room with proctors and right some exam agencies, right? Like Kaplan, right? Yeah, I took it, passed it in Waco, Texas, and called my parents in Korea, and they were very proud of me. Okay, then I started driving to Michigan law school. So I passed the patent bar exam even before I put my first foot on the doorstep of law school. Okay, I studied very hard for it. The whole time I was full time U.S. Army soldier, full time job. At night, weekday nights, weekends, I studied. I studied. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, because I'm blessed with, or privileged, but I don't want to use that word. I mean, it's not my fault. I'm blessed with this very disciplinary environment, household, Okay, in Seoul, South Korea, that's where I grew up. I was born in America. Okay, with my parents come here to study. All right, and we all went back to Korea, and then I grew up in that kind of environment, very hard studying, hard working environment, right? So I kind of inherited that kind of discipline, hard working attitude, right, from my parents and my teachers, professors, colleagues, friends, relatives, grandparents. Okay, very hard working environment, very law abiding, strong emphasis on morality, righteousness. Yeah, also from my pastors, yeah, Christian, as grew up as a Christian. Okay, so I got all the good juice from good environment. Okay, but it wasn't my fault. I didn't commit any wrongdoing, so I don't think I deserve any accusation of privilege, as if I did something wrong. Okay, I take it as a blessing, but I'm here to share it with the rest of the world. And I'm running for president, running for Alaska State Senate in order to share my blessing with others. Okay. Because everything I got it from somebody else. I mean, sure, yeah, somebody else from God. Yeah, I came up with my some own ideas, but it's from God, right? So yeah, I wanted to share because that's what Jesus said. Yeah, share it with your brothers. Yeah, love one another. Yeah, so just like people told me good things, I want to teach back. People gave me many things. I want to give it back, but it's not money. It's knowledge, discipline, ethics, morality. More metaphysical asset. I got no money. My campaign money, how can I buy all these water bottles and chips? Every time I do that, I spend about $70. Alright, chips, water bottles, okay, and some others. I spend about $70 each time. Okay, where did where does that money come from? COVID money, $1,200 check. I got it like everybody else. I'm using it for campaign money. Okay, so that's where the money came from. Okay, because I don't take any contribution, donation. Okay, because I don't want to. It I have to report it. Oh my goodness, and I have to ask for their address, their employer, keep track of it for each individual. No, I'm not doing that. It's to me that's waste of time. Am I hire somebody to do it? No. I want this campaign to be one man campaign, one person campaign, so that I have complete control thereof. Right? Just like I make this movie all by myself. Right? So, it be one man campaign, and so uh, yeah. Well, I like doing this. It's fun, interactive. You know, I get to interact with all these people, young, middle age, old age, all of them. Okay, and all different races. Okay, so I really like doing this. Okay, it's fun and very educational experience for me because I learn from people. Right? Yeah. What else? Yeah. So to me, this political campaign now it's June, so June, July, August. It'll be about 2 months from now on. Okay, uh, I take it as summer school. All right. Yeah, it's not free because I pay with my time and also with my money to buy water bottles, chips, right? Uh, but it's worthwhile a tuition for this summer school because I learn so much from people during this campaign trail. It's just in this town, right? But, yeah. And along the way, I stay out of trouble. Okay, so I call that a success. Okay, so campaign result, I mean election result is irrelevant. Okay, because during this campaign, I'm having fun. I learn many good things. Having fun by interacting with people, learning from people by listening to them, and then I stay out of trouble. Why? Because I'm running for Alaska's Senate. Reputation is everything, right? So I'm staying out of trouble. So I call that success. Election result irrelevant. Totally. It doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah. These three good things that I just mentioned, yeah, that's triple success. Right? Yeah. Fourth, I'm also educating people too. I call radio talk shows, write to local newspapers. People listen to what I have to say. People read what I have to write. Yeah, as far as I know, they're good knowledge, and so I'm educating people too. All right. Quadruple success. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I do what I can to better the world. Right. Yeah. Everything. Full time job. Then I do campaigning, and then I do this humanology series. Okay, so my job is like triple job, right? Yeah, some of my friends, army friends said, yeah, man's job is 24/7. I'm pretty sure woman's job is 24/7 too. Okay, so yeah, it's just, but as long as you enjoy what you do, then yeah, you can keep on going. Mm-hmm. We'll take 5 minutes. Okay, okay, so we may end wrap it up pretty soon. Okay, because I'm not tired. Okay, but and also it's not too late or night, but I can use some relaxation. So we'll see what happens after 5 minutes. All right. No, okay. So this jurist, Mr. Hofeld, I think his first name is maybe Newcomb, I guess. Yeah, very smart guy. So we are humanologists, so the way we interpret and apply this Hofeldian analysis, right duty, duality, is that Wesley Newcomb Hofeld, okay, is that right is equal to freedom, and it is a copium. It's something of value and quality, okay, and also something of quantity, okay. So, what defines quantity? Well, number of people, number of people, quantity of people, okay. That's number of rights, number of freedom, okay. And because one person have freedom, that becomes everybody else's duty, okay. So this copium transfer, freedom as a copium is transferring from everyone else to me. If I become Alaska State Senator for this district, nobody else is. If I have this title of as an Alaska State Senator for this district, nobody else has that title, right? So that's my freedom, my right, my position, status, when everybody else doesn't have that. It's like if I buy an apple, it's mine, nobody else's, only me. I'm the sole owner of this apple. Everybody else has duty to respect my exclusive right on this apple. If you, well, if I marry a woman, I have exclusive right to get in bed with this wife of mine. Nobody else has that right. It becomes everybody else's duty. Not if not legal, then moral duty. That they don't sleep with my wife. Okay, so that's right duty duality in application in humanology. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Why am I talking about this? Well, it came up during the conversation with my friends. Okay. Yeah, the Supreme Court, Mr. Justice Gorsuch, he not very smart, right? Yeah. So, I mean, we love LGBT people. Absolutely. Yeah, I have friends who are LGBT members. Okay. We love them, but we just disagree with the ideology part. Okay. Yeah, LGBTism. That's what we disagree with, because we don't think it's a sound ideology. We think it's a harmful ideology. Okay, so because LGBTs are not discriminated nowadays. Okay, maybe by Christians, but I mean LGBT members. There are LGBT friendly Christian churches. Okay, but they are going after oppositions. They want to silence and eradicate oppositions. That's what this pro-LGBT movement is about. It's not about equality. No, it's about search and destroy mission. It's about hegemony, conquest. Yeah, fascism. That's what this is about. Okay. Um, they don't know. Perhaps they don't intend it, but that's what this ideology of LGBTism is about. That ideology's identity. It is fascistic ideology. Very dictatorial. Controlling, okay, and zero tolerance, right? Yeah. That's why they try to legislate this thing. right? To silence all objections, absolute power, absolute superiority, the conquest. All right, so that's LGBTism. Not people, but that's the ideology. That's what's behind this LGBT people. The LGBT people, they don't know what they're doing. They are just puppets of this ideology, LGBTism. Gay. We call it gayism, but that's kind of derogatory a little bit. So we call it LGBTism, okay? We want to be respectful to people, okay? So, and yeah, in humanology, we see them as possessed people by this spirit, ideological spirit, ideology of LGBTism. So they've been driven by these ideologies. We all are. Okay. How about humanology? I mean, yeah, we do advocate for humanology, but it's not exactly advocacy. It's more a scientific study, and humanology. Well, as far as I know, it's a sound ideology, but hey, I could be wrong. Maybe it's bad ideology. Maybe. I don't know. But as far as I can tell, I think it's a good ideology, humanology. Okay, so. What else? So duty to do something, duty, my duty to respect you. Let's say you are LGBT member, okay? So if you have LGBT right and it becomes law, then it becomes my duty. So it becomes your right. Hypothetically, you're an LGBT member, okay? And then me, as a non-LGBT member, it becomes my duty to respect your right. So that's the freedom that you took away from me. Okay? So freedom to disagree. Okay? And we should all respect each other, of course. But freedom to object. Right? That's the right and freedom that you took away from me to empower yourself. Okay, so that's what LGBTism is about. Okay, so but I'm not worried at all. Why? Because history has witnessed the rise and fall of all those unsound ideologies like Nazism, fascism, okay, so or imperialism, slaveryism, okay, or feudalism, this bonded servantism. Yeah, they come and go because they are not quite sound ideologies, okay. So eventually they disappear and just become a chapter of human history. And my guess is that yeah, the same thing will happen. Rise and fall of some unsound ideologies. The same thing will happen with sugar fetishism, tattoo piercism, LGBTism, marijuanaism, uh, cosmetic plastic surgeryism. But not every cosmetic surgery is bad. Okay, if you have big mole here, yeah, I go to plastic surgery and get rid of it. It does not look good. Okay, so that's cosmetic plastic surgery, but it's good. Okay, the kind of cosmetic plastic surgery that we criticize is this females. It just doesn't look good. Okay, so all right, so and when it comes to breast cancer, I think women they tend to do over screening. Okay, all you gotta do is diet and exercise. All right, so they get rid of their natural breasts after this screening, and then they do plastic surgery. Like, isn't that what Angelina Jolie did? And because she did that, now so many people, so many women are following the suit, doing the same thing. Very bad role model, right? So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that lady, Angelina Jolie. Okay, not very smart, right? Yeah, she's brunette, but not very smart brunette. Okay. What time is it? My eyes are getting heavy. Okay, it's not too young, too late. I'm getting chilly too. Better. So before I went out to that park, I was a little bit nervous. Alright, I was a little bit nervous, but because I have done something like that before. Okay, as an activist, helping out this activist group, some kind of petition signing. Yeah, some people didn't appreciate that very much. Okay, they're relaxing in the park, right? And you asking for signature, right? So I learned a lesson. It didn't quite work very well. Okay, so what do I do? Yeah, reciprocity, human nature. There's Wikipedia article about that, and it was very insightful. Okay, probably written by psychologists, right? Oh yeah. Some psychologists have very good insights, right? Yeah, they do. Or maybe written by sociologists. I don't know. Maybe philosopher. I don't know who wrote it. So yeah, if I give something to somebody, if I give something to you, you kind of feel obliged. You kind of feel the obligation to give something back to me, right? So I learned that. Uh, so yeah, I approach people like this. But before that, I was kind of nervous. We'll take 5 minutes break, and I'll tell you about it. Okay, something happened earlier this evening. Okay, all good stories, not nothing bad. Okay, so all right. Wow, now I'm hot. Yeah. So this is very first time I've been running for anything. Well, started out as running for president, but I'm still running for president, by the way. So yeah, President Trump, he doesn't have a good chance of getting reelected. Okay, at least according to the poll, people have seen him not performing very well. So, and I have to agree. Okay, he is not very competent president. Is Vice President Joe Biden better? I don't think so. I don't think he's any better, to be honest. He could be worse. Okay, so how can I not run for president? Let me grab my wine. But there came a point where I realized my presidential campaign is not going anywhere. Okay, it's doesn't did not seem likely. Okay, so that's why I decided to run for Alaska State Senate because my political friends, they advised me, start something small, something local. Okay, all right, I listened. Yeah, because after I filed for presidential election, nothing was happening. It was just me making this YouTube series, humanology series. Yeah, a handful of people watch this. Okay, my friends, families, or perhaps some random strangers. Okay, everybody's welcome here. Okay, thank you. Okay, so yeah, but other than that, it wasn't quite happening. So yeah, let's run for Alaska State Senate. Something local, you know. Is it going well, my campaign? I think it's gaining some momentum, okay, because I talk to local radio talk show hosts, write to local newspapers, so I'm getting some feedbacks from my friends and locals. I'm starting to get some name recognition, okay, so yeah, some positive reviews as well, okay. So it may happen, okay, but at least I get known. So if I don't get elected this time, next time when I run, yeah, more people will know me because I by now I have more name recognition. Okay, so but I'm not gonna do any campaign signing because it's to me it seems too egotistical. Like it's about me, my name. I don't want that. Okay, I understand the rationale behind it. People see the name in the road sign, so they may look the name up, and go to that candidate's website and learn about that person. So yeah, I understand the rationale, but I just don't like the way, the attitude and the way it seems. It's me, my name. Egotism. No, I'm not going to do it ever. Okay, but I do understand rationale behind it and why people do it. Okay. So what happened in this park, a beautiful park in my town? A lot of people come over there. Okay, so in the parking lot, I smoked a cigarette because I was nervous. Okay, but yeah, reciprocity. Okay, as opposed to just approaching them and giving them my campaign card. No, let's give something they would like. Chips and cold water. I buy this cold water from the supermarket in the refrigerator. Okay, so they are refrigerated and people love it. Cold water. Okay, and chips. Yeah, some of them. Okay, and also yeah, children. They are children. Okay, yeah. even though they themselves don't eat chips. Yeah, they give it to their children. Okay. Yeah, I mean, children eating chips. I used to eat chips when I was a child. Okay, no problem. Why? Because they are physically active. Okay, they consume all that energy from, yeah, chips. Okay, so no problem. So yeah, I hand them out water bottle. I say, I approach them like, hi, would you like some free water, free chips? Hmm? And then some of them say no. Some of them say yes. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, here's your water, here's your chips, and can I give you my campaign card too, by the way, because I'm running for Alaska Senate. And they say, sure, sure, right? So that's give and take part, right? I give them what they want, and they give me what I want, which is acceptance of this campaign card. Okay, okay, Mister, Miss, pick a card, any card, right? They're pretty. Look, because when I was in Korea, high school, middle school, I was very good at fine art. Okay, so I know how to make things very pretty, colorful, right? Yeah, pick a card, any card. So they pick their favorite color, design, right? I give them a choice, so they love it. Okay. Yeah, I learned this. I added some of my own, but I learned it from this X File episode. Was the amazing Malini, and also some of my friends. Okay, because my friends are very smart people, creative individuals. So I pick cues from many different sources. At the same time, adding my own stuff. Okay, so it's about education. Okay, learning from other people. So I keep doing this, and I think it's gaining momentum, right? So because in local election, especially during the primary, not many people vote for it. Okay, so what matters is person to person interaction. Okay, because unlike national election or statewide election, local election, like uh, I'm running for Alaska State Senate for this particular district, it's this town and surrounding town. That's it, right? And the primary, uh, Republicans and middle people like independents, undeclared, non-partisan, unaffiliated. Okay, they are the ones who can vote in Republican primary, right? So very small population. Okay, so how many? Well, this town has about 40,000. I heard, so maybe 10,000. So person to person contact interaction, because every single vote it actually matters in local election. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if they take time to go to the polling station and vote for me, it's their time, and time is money, right? So I have to give them something, right? Yeah, water bottle, potato chips, whatever chips. And last time I went out, it was the air show, bush pilot, small airplane. Okay, yeah, I even bought two sunglasses and two tic tac toes, tic tac, the candies. Okay, to supplement that. But today I didn't. That cost too much. I have to be realistic, right? I have to watch my budget, and I do, right? No, I'm very realistic with my budget. Okay, so it took me a while to learn that, but my siblings, my parents, they told me how to use money sparingly. All right, yeah. It took me a while though, but they told me. Okay, so I'm very budget conscious because I have to. I don't make that much money. I make about average American salary level as a lawyer. Why? Because nowadays there's so many lawyers they don't get paid very well. Market saturation, right? So lawyers they don't get paid very well. Okay, nowadays, unless they have some seniority. Okay, yeah, I'm just young lawyer, so kind of new. So yeah, but I do get to save just a little bit every month. Okay, but as, after I started seriously campaigning, yeah, I'm kind of using from those savings. Okay, so but I am watching my balance. Okay, yeah, Canadian whiskey is fantastic. Hmm. We'll take 5 minutes break, okay, and then we'll talk about things. What will be my next step in the campaign? It's some friends of me asked me this question. We think about that, okay? Because my friends, many of them are political, okay? They are former politicians or political activists, okay? So they give me very good advices because they have experience. Right? Okay, let's take 5 minutes. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I do this because it's more aesthetically pleasing. Okay, sunny, both sides, right? Like left and right. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate liberalism. I do. I'm half and half, kinda. Okay. I'm not always conservative. Okay. I'm very open-minded, and actually, you know what? Do you think conservatives are closed-minded? They are not. Okay, they are very open-minded and very tolerant people. Okay, most conservatives I know, yeah, and no, they are not racist. I'm not white. Okay, no, conservatives they are not racists. I don't think so. And anyways, so let's talk briefly about humanology. Okay, so it's kind of metaphysics. Okay, humanological metaphysics. So ideology is not copium because it's not quantifiable. Yeah, you can assign some value to it, negative value, positive value to this ideology, but ideology itself is there's only one particular ideology, like Christianityism or Islamism. There's only one. Okay, one definition of love, whatever, right? But ideological membership, that's copium. Why? Because how many people are subscribed to this ideology, right? Yeah, now it's quantifiable, so that becomes copium. It's like you have one original document, and you put in the facts, Xerox, or digitally you scan it and you have a PDF digital document and you copy and paste many times, right? Yeah, copium, copy, has same root, Greek root. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of a quantity, kind of. Okay. So copium. Okay. So uh, yeah. So let's talk about this rock march, right? Yeah, this army veterinary medicine captain, female, Caucasian female, very moving. So yeah, I mean the it was sensational several years ago, I guess, but I don't have any television. Okay, so yeah, I just ran into it. Okay, and yeah, about 20 hours before the finishing line, after these 12 miles, 45 rucksack and rifle, right? This medic competition to get this medic badge of honor or something like that. I don't know the name. But she fell. She kind of collapsed out of exhaustion. Okay, that's kind of cute. Okay, 20 hours before the finish line. Okay, and people are cheering up like, "Get up, get up! Hey, ma'am, you got it! You got it, ma'am! Get up, get up! Come on!" Yeah, males and females, all different races, like Hispanics, African Americans, Asians, Caucasians. Okay, yeah, like army. It was very moving. Okay, all different races and gender coming together to cheer her up, right? Caucasian female, right? And she got up, right? She kind of walked like 10 yards, and she collapsed again. Okay, and yeah, they started cheering up again, again, again. Yeah, get up, get up. You know, it's right there. Okay, so you're almost there. So she summoned up the little energy that she has left, and slowly walking toward that finishing line, and she passed the finish line, and then she collapsed again. She fell. Okay, so but she made it, right? So later on, yeah, she got some television, national television interviews, and yeah, it was really cool, very inspiring, and very inspiring to me as a political campaign, right? So before I went to the Special Forces selection in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, yeah, I did intensive training about 4 months, okay, by myself and with Special Forces recruiters under their direction, and so my colleague candidates and also army soldiers who passed that selection course. After 3 weeks selection course, there is also long qualification course, which is like about a year or 2 years, which is extremely intense, right? I heard about that. Okay. There is no way I could pass any of that. After 2 weeks, I dropped out. It's 3 weeks selection course. After 2 weeks, I couldn't take it anymore, so I dropped out. Okay. But I did pass long march, long running, log, PT, rolling on in the mud, all the fun stuff. I did pass all those. Okay. I passed 3/3 of the 3 week selection course. Okay. It was cool. And I met many interesting people. Okay, so there's this ex-Marine. I mean, Marine. Yeah, he's a former Marine. Later on, he enlisted to become army soldier, but he used to be Marine Recon, which is like special forces in Marine. So, yeah, but he made one small mistake during the land navigation. Uh, so, so I was in there for 3 weeks. 2 weeks I dropped out. The third week we are doing details for people who are still in the course. Okay, yeah, cleaning after them, preparing their training materials and stuff. Okay, so I talked to this Marine gentleman, Marine veteran, and now U.S. Army sergeant. Okay, so this guy's a really hardcore guy, but when you see him, he does not look scary. So he has this inner strength, right? Like a tiger hiding his claw, right? Yeah, very impressive gentleman, right? Some people are like that. Okay, they have inner strength. Outward, they are very nice and kind and gentle, but inside they are very strong people. They don't look scary. They look like very friendly people. Okay, so I've seen some of them. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Inner strength, right? So what mistake did he make? He kind of like misinterpreted some signal. So like he thought it was kind of something like when sergeants were patrolling around, the special forces sergeant. He thought it was some kind of formation, something like that. I don't remember the detail, but it was very minute mistake. But uh, unfortunately, they said he's no longer in the game. Okay, so I was like, ah, come on, sergeants. Me, I gave up. I called in the radio. Okay, walkie-talkie, kind of. But this gentleman, he just misinterpreted signal. Okay, so, but I've no doubt that he became fairly higher up. Why? Because he's really competent, ex-marine, and then he enlisted U.S. Army, and yeah, he got some serious talent. So because U.S. Army, there's supporting forces like I was, electrician or others, right? And there's infantry, rangers, special forces, and delta forces. Delta forces, they're the top dog. Okay, very intensive training. I read about them. Okay, in books about Delta Force, right? And they are like they have like this open application policy. You don't have to be a ranger. You don't have to be infantry. You don't have to be special forces. Yeah, come and apply and show us what you got. Yeah, there was this mass email, right? You wanna be Delta Forces? Yeah, come train with us. Show us what you got. Okay, so I never applied to Delta Force. Okay, I mean, come on. I tried to special forces. I couldn't make it. How can I possibly make Delta Force? But this gentleman, I'm sure he could have. I'm not. I don't know. I lost contact with him, so I don't know if he ever applied to Delta Force. But if he did, I'm sure he got it. Okay, so because during the land navigation, he didn't even use compass because he's so used to it, right? You look at the map, look at the mountains. He doesn't even need the compass. Okay, he was so good at land navigation. Okay, so me, land navigation, I'm not that good at it. Okay, but when it comes to rock march, yeah, I was ready for it. Why? Because it's a 12 mile, 45 pounds in 3 hours, right? Yeah, we did more than 12 miles. Probably did like 15 miles. And 45 pounds, probably we did like 55 pounds. Okay. So yeah, my feet were very trained for it. Okay. No blister. Okay, because my feet were hardened and trained for it. Okay. So but I watched another YouTube video. There's the soldier. It was, I think it was male soldier. Okay, in that 12 mile rock march, I guess he got blister or something. So near the finishing line, so he did finish the rest of the maybe 100 yards or so, and he walked on her knees, on his knees. I think it was male. He walked on his knees and finished this 12 miles. Isn't that cool? Yeah, there's some cool stuff in the army. Okay, I cannot speak for other branches. I'm sure they have cool stories. Okay, but yeah, army stories. Yeah, I can understand more because I was in the army myself. All right, but other branches, I have not been to other. I've heard some interesting stories. Some of my friends in the army, they used to be in the navy, so they would tell me interesting stories. Give me 5 minutes, okay, and I'll tell you what my friends told me. Okay. Yeah, night is still young, right? Look at outside. What time is it? 10 o'clock something. Okay, so that's how it is in Alaska. Okay, 10 o'clock in the summer, look like this. Okay, La La Land, right? Yeah. Very interesting. So I have a lot of veteran friends, all different branches like Coastal Guard, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Army, Navy, Marine, Coastal Guard, Air Force. Okay, I have all my friends. Okay, from different branches of services. Because if you are veterans, it's very easier for us to kind of connect, right? Yeah, as veterans. So, so Navy story, okay, that I heard from Navy veteran friends, okay, and some of them said they were in this ship, air carrier, right, big ship, and their bunker right next to a torpedo. Oh yeah, it was submarine. Okay, yeah. So their crew in the submarine, something like nuclear submarine, whatever, right? Their bunker right next to this big Kaiser torpedo. They slept right next to it. Okay, so I asked them, hey, were you allowed to fish? Because some air carrier, right? And I don't quite remember what they said. Okay, but I don't remember. Maybe they were allowed. I don't know. Fishing in the middle of Pacific Ocean or what, Atlantic Ocean, whatever, right? Were you allowed to fish? I think they said no. There's all this international treaty, whatever. Okay, it's a foreign ocean. I think they said no. They were not allowed to fish. I think my next question was, but did you guys fish? Yeah, whether it's allowed or not, did you guys actually fish? And I don't remember what the answer was. I honestly don't remember. Okay. Then they'll tell me this story. Okay. I think, as far as I recall, okay, they would jump off the deck and swim in the ocean, and they encountered this school of jellyfish. I think that's what I remember. Okay, it's been such a long time, right? Some of them I still talk to. Okay, but jellyfish, school of jellyfish. So they jump to the ocean to swim, right? And they ran into this school of jellyfish. Okay, big population of jellyfish, something like that. Let me chat with my friends. Okay, real quick. Give me 1 minute. Just chatting with my friends. Give me vocal rest, so I kind of need it. You know. Oh, it's getting hot. Whew. Yeah. Okay. So how about Air Force stories? My Air Force friends, they say these airplanes they are just so loud. Even after they have this earmug sound blocker, so they work with these Air Force airplanes. They say this just that's way too loud. Okay, so some of them have some eardrum damage from their job. Okay, and Air Force have a lot of money. Air Force they has a lot of money because airplanes, right? Very expensive, right? So Air Force got a lot of money. When I was in the U.S. Army, when it's kind of joint base, Air Force Army joint base, sometimes, yeah, we Army guys will sneak into this Air Force defect dining facility because they have better quality food. Okay, so and also Air Force they have very beautiful female soldiers. Okay, in the U.S. Army, yeah, we have some beautiful female soldiers, but not many female soldiers in the U.S. Army. But in the Air Force, they have a lot of female soldiers compared to U.S. Army. Okay, so I mean, we just heard those stories. That's all. That's all. When I was in the U.S. Army, I did not date. Well, I dated civilians a couple of times, I guess. When I was down in Georgia, okay. But when I was in, was it? Yeah, AIT, doing AIT. It's just a couple of days. Nothing. Just a couple of days, okay. Nothing hanky panky. No, just a couple of days. That's all. When I was in Fort Hood, no, I didn't date at all. When I was in Afghanistan, no, I did not date at all. Okay, I was just before I went to Afghanistan 1 year in Fort Hood, I was busy. Okay, so after 1 year in Georgia, right, training, I was stationed in Fort Hood, Texas, right. I did not date, not once. Why? Because I was editing my movie Therapy for Mental Phobia in my spare time, and I submitted to film festival. Okay, well, we'll take 5 minutes break. Okay, I tell you stories about this 1 year in Fort Hood, Texas, before we went to Afghanistan. Okay, I tell you about that. Okay, what I did, why I was so busy. All right, we'll take 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah, good army stories, good old army stories. Okay, I tell you about it. Nothing bad. Okay, it's all good stories. Okay. Well, sometimes I got into trouble, but let boys be boys. Okay, we all make mistakes. Okay, so but nothing too bad. Okay, so. Okay, so first year in Fort Hood after, so that's my second year in U.S. Army career as a junior enlisted soldier. First year, yeah, Fort Benning, Fort Gordon. Second year, Fort Hood, right? So yeah, let's step back and start from the beginning. Okay, so I got stationed in Fort Hood, Texas, right? And my unit, First Cavalry, okay, a big patch with this horse and this diagonal stripe, right? Yeah, very good unit. Okay, I love that unit. Okay, so that their tradition, this cavalry uh, team who actually ride horses like back in the days, right? Yeah, it's about very ceremonial, right? Yeah, cavalry team. During the ceremony, they come in the horseback. Very cool tradition, right? Yeah. So that was Fort Hood, Texas, right? Year 2010. I joined the U.S. Army 2009. I was 31. Okay, and by then, I Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, and 2 years in Cornell University as a PhD candidate. I dropped out after 2 years, but and then I moved to California, computer programmer, and also project manager later on. Okay, and made a movie, but didn't quite finish that movie. Okay, I put in the storage, and then I joined the U.S. Army. Why? Ah, I needed a break. Okay, from computer programming, from filmmaking, I just wanted to get away from it all. Okay, so I joined the U.S. Army as an escape, as a vacation. Okay, so brain break, more brawn intensive, right? And I got what I wanted, right? What I prayed for. Yeah, a lot of push-ups, sit up. I loved it. 2 mile run. Yeah, I loved it. I still do those things, right? Monday to Friday, right? So I got stationed in Fort Hood, Texas. Kind of new in the army, but I was older than my colleagues, at least by a decade. Okay, and I was older than many of my army sergeants, my superiors too. Okay, many of them, not all of them. All right. So, and I was specialist E4, E1, private, right? E2, something like private second class. E3, private first class. E4, specialist. Or corporal. Corporal is the lowest ranking NCO, but it's not that common outside of infantry, okay, as far as I know. Our unit didn't have any corporals, okay, we just specialists, okay, so. And so I got there, Fort Hood, my first duty station, first and last, okay. And in my unit, Bravo Company, okay, yeah, there's these guys who just got back from Iraq, year 2010, okay, so yeah, they got their combat patch and their combat veteran. Me, just out of AIT, out of army schools, okay, so I was new in the army, but I was older than them, most of them, okay, I was older than they, and I got more education, okay, so I guess they saw me as some kind of person with attitude, okay. So this initiation, kind of metaphysical hazing, not physical, but well, maybe sometimes physical too. I don't know. Whatever, hazing, initiation, ceremony, whatever. So yeah, they try to punk me out. We have the same ranks, specialist. Okay, when I'm kind of new in the army, they got more seniority in the army because they walked through many of them from E1, E2, E3, E4. Me, I just got E4 because I got college degree, Bachelor of Science degree. Okay. So they would give me attitude, right? And then I would give them attitude. So yeah, we didn't get along very well. Okay, at the beginning. Later on, we kind of got into some small. Nothing too bad, just pushing, okay, yeah. But later on, we became best friends, okay. Alright. No punching, no kicking, it's just pushing around, okay, yeah, but we became friends later on, okay. Yeah, guys, let boys be boys, right? Yeah. So, the first year in the beginning, okay, so one day I remember there was no PT, okay, for whatever reason. So, from my barracks room to my duty station, which is airfield, army airfield, about 2 miles or maybe 3 miles. Okay, so typically we drive our car from barracks to airfield, right? Drive our own cars. But because we skipped PT, physical training in the morning, I wanted to do my PT, so I ran from barracks room to airfield. About 3 miles, I think. Maybe 2 miles. I don't know. Maybe 1.5 mile. I don't know. Okay, it's West Fort Hood. Okay, yeah. So some of my sergeants really like that. Okay, me integrity about this PT because I love PT. I love exercise. Okay, yeah. Whereas in Korea, yeah, I practice taekwondo, running, hiking. Okay, so because my dad is a hiker. Okay, so yeah, he made me on weekends go hiking with him. My dad. Okay, avid hiker. Okay, he still does hiking. South Korea. So South Korea has a lot of mountains. Okay, so many mountains. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, I grew up in that kind of environment. Okay, exercise, cardio, running, and stuff. So yeah, some adjustment periods. So I got adjusted, made some couple of mistakes. Okay, maybe several. All right, but I got adjusted, befriended people there. So now what? Life is easy, but I'm very disciplined person. Hard life, I'm more used to that. Okay, not easy life. That's not my upbringing. Hard life. Okay, so everybody's friend. Okay, so peaceful. Hmm. How about some special forces? Okay. So I started training for special forces. Okay. So and my unit kindly and generously sent me to North Carolina Fort Bragg. Okay. And I realized, oh man, I'm not cut off for this. Okay, so I dropped out. Okay, so I came back to my Fort Hood regular army, not special army, regular army. Okay, and they embraced me back. Okay, they are so nice to me. Okay, it's like army is a big family. Okay, then okay, so now I'm back in the unit. Okay, what else? Oh, now I recall that movie. I didn't quite finish editing it, okay? Alright, so one 4 day, 5 day weekend, July 4th, I drove all the way down to California, got my mini DV and camera and desktop computer back, and drove all the way back to Fort Hood, Texas from Los Angeles, California, in the storage, public storage unit, okay? So, and then I restarted editing and finished the movie, submit to 50 film festivals, 50, half of 100, okay, 50 film festivals, and then we deployed to Afghanistan. Okay, kind of romantic, right? Yeah, it was romantic, but I didn't have any time to date. I was busy preparing for training for special forces. I dropped out and then finishing editing this my movie in my spare time, right? And then we deployed to Afghanistan. But yeah, I finished editing, submit to 50 different film festivals, about 10 of them foreign countries. Okay? And then we deployed to Afghanistan. Okay? I was busy. So when I was in Afghanistan, okay? Yeah, we have USO, okay? Internet connection in Afghanistan, okay? So, yeah, in our spare time, yeah, we are allowed to go there and do some internet email check. And about 5 film festivals out of 50, so it's like 10% acceptance rate, okay, which is quite typical, all right? Later I heard from my fellow filmmakers, okay. Yeah, so I got accepted by 5 film festivals out of 50, all right? Small ones, okay, local ones. Yeah, small guys helping out small guys kind of thing, okay, so one in Ventura County in California, just like 1 hour north of Los Angeles, okay. One in Pasadena, California, about 30 minutes south of Los Angeles, okay. And one in England, one in Ireland, one in Australia, okay. So they accepted my movie to show to the general audience, right? So I was in Afghanistan when I heard this news. I was very grateful, all right. And I had to pick one because in Afghanistan we get just 2 to 3 weeks vacation. Okay, they purchase this round trip airfare, airplane ticket. Okay, you have to pay for hotel, transportation, and food, but airline anywhere in the world, army pay for it. Okay, so I picked Ireland. Why? Because it's been a while since I've been to Europe, and it's not very far away from Afghanistan. Australia, well, it's kind of too far away, right? California, Pasadena, and also not Orange, the Ventura County. I've been there, right? So, but Ireland, never been there. So I picked Ireland, okay. And so between this 2.5 vacation, 2.5 week vacation, I went to Ireland, attend the film festival, also England, attend the film festival, and I also went to other countries in Europe too. Okay, what other countries? Italy, Switzerland, Germany, Spain. Not sure about France. I don't think so. But yeah, Italy, Switzerland, Spain, maybe France in the transit, and Germany, something like that, okay, and England, Ireland. Yeah, I used all this public transportation like taxi cab. I also rented a car. It was confusing in Ireland, okay, because driver seat is on the other side or the right side, not the left side like in America, okay, so quite confusing. But rented a car, I took taxi cab, took a bus, airplane, a ship, and like bus. I walked, all kinds of transportation mode. Okay, when I was traveling in Europe. Okay, for the second time. For the first time, I was like 19. Okay, yeah. So it was second time in Europe. Okay, so it was good. Europeans, they're cool, right? Yeah, they're cool. We'll take 5 minutes break. Okay, so yeah. Okay. Okay. Sorry for the long break. Something came up. Okay. Still doing this political work. So yeah, it's night is still young, right? It looks like it's young, but it's like 11 o'clock right now. Okay, so I gotta get ready. I gotta go to bed and get back to work tomorrow. Okay, so because I have full time job as a lawyer, right? So what will be my next step? Well, I mean, it's kind of premature to talk about next step because if I do get elected in Republican Party primary, then yeah, I'll start taking this campaign contributions, right? Nowadays, I'm not taking any donations. I mean, every now and then when I hand out water or chips, yeah, they give me some tips, right? But yeah, that's not exactly campaign contribution. It's more like they don't want free handouts, so they want to pay for it. When I hand out flowers, chips, potato chips, and water, okay, because they're nice, okay, they want to help me out, right? Yeah. But if I do pass this primary, if I get elected in this Republican Party primary in Alaska in this district, yeah, then I will start taking donations. Why? Because it's too late to not take any donations, right? Yeah, I'll start taking donations. I'm not gonna ask for it, but if I pass the Republican Party primary, then it will be Republican Party organizations. There are many, okay? Yeah, they will invest in me and I'll take it. Why? Because I'm kind of running out of money. I have 2 months left for the primary election. By then, yeah, I will not have any money left for this general election campaign. So I will physically, financially, fiscally need to take money to continue this campaign. All right. But if I don't get elected in this primary, oh then I don't need to take any money. Why? Because I got a few pennies left over in my pockets somewhere. So no problem because I got full time job. Okay. And I work in my full time job. Okay. All this campaign activity is the after hours, weekends and weekday nights. That's it. Just like I always have done. Before I go to law school, yeah, I was full time U.S. Army soldier. In my spare time, weekday nights, weekends, yeah, I study LSAT, pattern bar exam, right? Before that, when I was computer programmer at a full time job in Los Angeles, weekday nights, weekends, I made a movie. Driving all the way to Mojave Desert, 2 to 3 hours away, east of Los Angeles, northeast of, is it northeast or southeast? So I don't know, east of Los Angeles, okay? Yeah, on weekends. Weekday nights, editing, digitizing this mini DV footage, loading to my desktop and editing them, okay? So that was Los Angeles. Acting, filmmaking, screenwriting, location scouting, all that, okay? Before that, when I was in Korea, yeah, 8 to 5, Monday through Saturday. It was not Monday to Friday back then, 1990s in Seoul, South Korea. It was Monday through Saturday, 6 days a week. Public school, 8 to 5. Maybe Saturday, 8 to 1. I don't know, okay? I don't remember. Most likely, right? So, when I was in Seoul, South Korea, high school, right? Public school, 9 to 5, Monday through Saturday, something like that. Or Monday, let's say Monday to Friday, okay? Public school, public high school. After that, weekday nights, private school. Weekends, private school. I grew up in that environment. Studying, working, day and night. In Korea, there's this proverb, okay? During the day, you farm, you work. At night, you study, you read books. It's called in Korean proverb, Korean language, 주경야독. Yeah, in China, Korea, Japanese culture, okay, is the four letter maxim, right? 주경야독, it means during the day you farm, during the night you read. So during the day you work full time, at night you study. So that's this Oriental Asiatic maxim, proverb, right? Later on, some of my American professors, yeah, they say, I mean, because they were teaching us, college students, graduate students, right? So I asked American professors, okay, class is over. It's like 5 o'clock. So what are you up to for the rest of the night? And they said, some of them said, well, my day just began. Why? Because I go home, I don't just relax. Maybe I relax a little bit, but I gotta get back to work because during the day I've been teaching, right? At night now it's time for research to come up with my own theory. During the day I teach my students. At night I do my own things, research. I was asking, why? Why don't you just relax for the night? And they said, because if you work 40 hours a week, Monday through Friday, just like everybody else, then you cannot succeed. You can maintain your position, but you cannot get higher up. Well, they didn't exactly say that. I'm kind of adding my own stuff, but it's the gist of the message lesson. Okay, yeah. If you want to be go higher than others, you have to work more hours than others. If you just work 40 hours a week, just like anybody else, then you can maintain your position, but you cannot get promoted. You cannot go to the next higher level, making more money, getting more prominence, promotion, right? Rising through the ranks. It takes working harder, more hours than other people. Right? There are a lot of business starters, right? Venture capital business starters. They want to come up with their own business, right? And they work more hours than others, okay? Because I've made friends who did that, okay? About 90% of them fold up their startup business and go work for other companies as an employee. But those people who succeed, the 10% of people, they start up this brand new business and they survive. That's like 10%. It's like natural selection, evolution, okay? Because they work longer hours than others. They work harder and longer. Okay. Yeah. That's how you make more money than others. By more work, more study, right? No activism or mobism or fascism, politics of fear, mobocracy, demagoguery, right? Ruled by threat, fascism, they will not change this natural law. Okay? Nobody can succeed with violence. The only way to succeed in life is more work than other people, more diligence, more discipline, than other people. That's the only way one can approve long-lasting true success. You have to work more hours, more efforts, yeah, more pain and suffering. That's the only way one person can truly achieve enduring, long-lasting success. There's no other way. It's not about activism or ideologies. It's not about violence, threat, fear. No. It's about hard work. Okay? And they will not change it because it's natural law. Yeah, dualism in humanology, manipulism, pluminosism. Okay, so okay, all right. Thank you. Good night. Have a good sleep. Okay.